Lewis Hamilton issues fresh Ferrari update after sudden retirement decision teased. Verstappen's title chances are not looking good after upgrade issues, and Tsunoda has been told to improve. Do consider subbing. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Max Verstappen, a fierce competitor in Formula One, is now facing an unexpected challenge as the esteemed McLaren team gears up for the 2025 season. While Verstappen has previously enjoyed unparalleled success, questions are now being raised about his ability to maintain that dominance in the face of an evolving racing landscape. Recent predictions suggest that Verstappen may not even claim a runner-up position as Red Bull shifts focus towards the 2026 regulations. With McLaren showcasing impressive performance gains, it's becoming increasingly clear that they have the upper hand. According to Guenther Steiner, former Haas team principal, the timeline might lead to McLaren achieving their first 1-2 finish and fewest 1-2 finish in the Drivers' Guide Championship since the days of legends Prost and Senna in 1989. Verstappen's journey to defend his title is formidable. After clinching his first world championship in a nail-biting showdown against Lewis Hamilton in 2021, he faces what many consider his toughest competition yet, his rivals from McLaren. While Red Bull previously speculated that the two McLaren drivers might hinder each other by taking points off, the reality has been starkly different. Currently, Verstappen trails both Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, with Piastri sitting 10 points ahead of Norris. It's an unexpected twist, given that McLaren has now outperformed Red Bull in overall race wins. As the standings for the 2025 season evolve, the narrative of winners and losers reveals itself. Despite earlier optimism surrounding Red Bull's ability to compete, Steiner has voiced a stark prediction, asserting that McLaren is the superior team at this point in the season. He's confident that McLaren will solidify their 1-2 finish in the Drivers' Championship, outright dismissing the idea that Verstappen could disrupt this outcome. Steiner points out that the ongoing shifts in focus towards the 2026 regulations will limit Red Bull's capacity to develop significant performance upgrades for the current season. Despite some progress with their RB21 upgrades leading to Verstappen achieving pole position recently, the writing seems to be on the wall regarding their future efforts. As Formula One prepares for groundbreaking changes with the introduction of new engines and car designs next season, the trend of each team reorienting their resources towards 2026 becomes unequivocal. For Red Bull, this could ultimately mean relinquishing their title aspirations this season, and perhaps paving the way for a potential championship win for Oscar Piastri. Rising star Oscar Piastri has indeed created a significant ripple this season, recently overtaking his teammate Norris at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to clinch his third victory. His poise under pressure has caught the attention of many, including Steiner, who appreciates Piastri's calm nature amid fierce competition. Unlike some of his peers, who might react emotionally to setbacks, Piastri maintains an impressive composure, a trait that positions him favorably against rivals, including Verstappen. As we witness these developments unfold in the 2025 season, it's clear that the landscape of Formula One is shifting. With McLaren gaining momentum and Red Bull reassessing their strategies for the future, fans are left to ponder whether we are on the brink of a new era in racing, one where Max Verstappen's legacy will be tested by emerging talent and the changing tides of competition. Now, Oscar Piastri's journey is quickly turning into a historic one. Recently, he found himself leading the Formula One World Championship standings, a remarkable achievement considering it's the first time in his two-affirm and a bit-year career that he's reached this pinnacle. When asked if this title would change his racing approach, Piastri expressed a refreshing mindset. He emphasized that his focus remains on winning every race, rather than the significance of just being at the top of the standings. Piastri said, "I'm proud of the work that's been done to get here." His confidence reflects the hard work not only from himself, but also from his team during the off-season. As he put it, leading the championship is a result of all the hard work we've done, underscoring a team-first mentality that's essential in such a competitive sport. But with rising stars like Lando Norris, the dynamics at McLaren could change significantly. While Steiner advised Piastri to maintain his edge over Norris, he acknowledged the possibility of strategic team orders if Max Verstappen gets involved, sparking conversation about balancing rivalry and strategy. As Piastri continues his impressive season, the team strategy will be closely watched, especially if their dominance becomes a focus for the rest of the championship. Meanwhile, Verstappen's perspective paints a different picture. He recently stated that he feels more like a participant rather than a contender in the ongoing championship, raising eyebrows about his competitive spirit with McLaren drivers. With these contrasting attitudes at play, the races ahead promise a thrilling narrative of ambition, teamwork, and rivalry that keeps fans at the edge of their seats. Stay tuned, because as the season heats up, every race could reshape the standings and the storylines we've come to love. Oscar Piastri recently shared his thoughts on the qualities that Formula One world champions should possess, following a conversation spurred by Lando Norris. The topic at hand was whether drivers truly need to embrace a more aggressive or even ruthless attitude to secure championships. Norris had previously expressed his reluctance to sacrifice his character for the sake of winning a title, sparking this intriguing discussion. In response, Piastri emphasized that while different personalities exist within the F1 landscape, certain traits are essential for championship success. He acknowledged that confidence is a significant factor and pointed to stars like Max Verstappen as an example. Verstappen's unwavering self-belief, along with his sometimes cutthroat approach, has undoubtedly contributed to his status in the sport. Similarly, legends like Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna were renowned for their uncompromising natures. Norris, however, offers a different perspective. He articulated his belief in staying true to oneself, even amidst the competitive pressure to conform to a more aggressive archetype. He stated, "I feel like there is a very prescribed version of how people say a world champion needs to be, overly aggressive. Instead, he values maintaining a good character while still striving for greatness in racing. His attitude reflects a desire to win without compromising his core values, suggesting that it's entirely possible to achieve the pinnacle of motorsport while being a nice guy." Norris went further to underscore the importance of enjoying life and enjoying the journey. He doesn't believe that a so-called killer instinct is a prerequisite for success, stating, "I want to prove you can be a world champion and not have it." He is determined to demonstrate that a competitive spirit doesn't have to come at the expense of one's dignity or individuality. There's a fine line between competitiveness and losing oneself in the process, and Norris is committed to remaining authentic to his identity. The dialogue delves into concepts of self-presentation and attitude in the high-stakes environment of F1, with Norris pointing out how easy it is to adopt a facade of aggression. He acknowledged that some may choose to convey a cutthroat image, but he believes that staying true to oneself is far more valuable. He admitted, "I don't have to show everyone I've got that kind of attitude." With Piastri now a champion in his own right, having recently taken the lead in the standings, he resonates with this belief that authenticity is key to navigating the competitive sport. He added, "I think everyone has their own personality. Everyone has their own style." His insight on the matter reinforces Norris's stance. Trying to fit someone else's mold can lead to losing sight of your true self. Nevertheless, Piastri also noted that while individuality is crucial, there are still certain characteristics that define successful world champions. Identifying these essential traits not only clarifies the path to potential success, but also underscores the importance of personal integrity in high-level competition. In conclusion, the conversation between Piastri and Norris highlights a refreshing perspective on what it means to be a champion in Formula One. Their views challenge traditional notions of aggression in sports, advocating for a more personal approach to competition that values self-identity and authenticity alongside ambition. As they both strive for success, their messages resonate. You can be fierce on the track without sacrificing who you are off it. Oscar Piastri has expressed his thoughts on what it takes to be a top contender in Formula One, particularly in relation to his teammate, Lando Norris. He describes the ideal situation as a battle solely between the two of them for the championship. This, he believes, would not only fulfill his ambitions, but also create a dream scenario for their team. Piastri asserts that as long as he emerges as world champion, he would be content with any competitive scenario, whether it's striving against Norris alone or a larger field of competitors. He acknowledges the thrill of a championship fight between teammates, emphasizing that it's often less stressful than fighting outside their team. He highlights that having both cars in the top positions would be an exhilarating challenge, a common goal for any competitive team. While he recognizes the excitement of a competitive environment involving multiple teams, he seems to prefer a scenario where the focus is primarily on internal team dynamics. As the discussion shifts to his potential rivalry with Max Verstappen, Johnny Herbert believes Piastri possesses the capabilities to outsmart the reigning champion, underscoring the depth of strategic thinking vital for a successful title pursuit. Ultimately, Piastri's perspective illustrates the delicate balance between fierce competition on the racetrack and a strong sense of camaraderie off it. In the world of Formula One, staying true to oneself while pushing for greatness seems to be the cornerstone of a champion's mindset. Lewis Hamilton is currently facing immense pressure after a challenging beginning to his Ferrari journey. Despite this rocky start, the Formula One champion insists that he is not going to give up. The 2025 season has been particularly tumultuous, leading to speculation from some, including former racer Ralf Schumacher, about Hamilton potentially considering retirement if his situation doesn't improve. Since his highly publicized move from Mercedes, Hamilton's performance at Ferrari has fallen short of expectations. Throughout the initial 5 races, he hasn't finished better than 5th place. He did manage to take pole position and win the sprint race in China, but his triumph was overshadowed by disqualification in the main race due to excessive skid block wear. This setback has compounded the difficulties he's faced, with the team needing to adjust the car settings in a way that Hamilton feels is less than ideal. No. The head-to-head dynamics between Hamilton and his teammate Charles Leclerc reveal an even starker picture. Hamilton has consistently qualified far behind Leclerc in recent races, with a staggering 30.969 seconds difference reported in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Speaking candidly after that race, Hamilton referred to his predicament as painful and acknowledged that he doesn't foresee an immediate resolution, revealing that both his team and management are dissatisfied with his current performances. Even amidst these adversities, Hamilton remains hopeful. During a recent event in London, he urged fans to have faith, subtly suggesting that he's committed to Ferrari and Formula One for the foreseeable future. His rallying cry included the message, "Please keep your fingers crossed. I'm not going to give up. We're going to keep getting better." These remarks come after Schumacher expressed concern about Hamilton's ability to adapt to the car, raising doubts about his long-term future in the sport. Schumacher painted a picture of Hamilton's struggles, recalling his own experiences in the cockpit when the car simply doesn't respond to the driver's demands. He noted that if Hamilton continues to feel outpaced and unsatisfied, he might contemplate his future and the physical toll that racing imposes. At 40 years old, and with a wealth of resources, a moment of reflection could lead Hamilton to question whether this continued struggle is worthwhile. Now, despite these challenges and the ongoing difficulties, Hamilton's contract with Ferrari is expected to keep him in the sport until at least the end of the 2026 season. As he approaches his 42nd birthday, fans and commentators alike are curious to see whether he can turn his fortunes around with a team that once hoped for a new chapter in his storied career. Both Ferrari and Hamilton have a monumental task ahead of them, but he remains determined to improve. As the season progresses, all eyes will be on Hamilton to see if he can rise to the occasion and reclaim his place among the sport's elite drivers. Lewis Hamilton's journey at Ferrari is a topic capturing a lot of attention, fueled by discussions around his potential move to Maranello in 2025. Reports suggest that Ferrari chairman John Elkann is eager to secure the 7-time world champion's skills for the team. With Hamilton's historical connection to team principal Fred Vasseur, who guided him during his GP2 triumph, there's a solid foundation for growth. Vasseur recently expressed his unwavering support for Hamilton, emphasizing that he isn't alarmed by the driver's performance so far. He confidently stated that Hamilton is still a formidable competitor and stressed the importance of teamwork to overcome challenges. Despite a rocky start and finishing sixth, while his teammates stood on the podium, Vasseur highlighted Hamilton's competitive spirit, saying he's a racer. He wants to get the best from what he has. As the second sprint race of the season approaches, the Miami Grand Prix becomes critical for Hamilton. The shorter sprint format could allow Ferrari to optimize their car's setup. With exciting updates planned, including a special one-off livery in Florida, the spotlight will be firmly on Hamilton, Leclerc, and Vasseur. In the backdrop, former driver Valtteri Bottas weighed in on Hamilton's transition, suggesting that he would adapt quickly once he grasped the team's fundamentals. As Hamilton tackles the complexities of Ferrari, it becomes clear that while he faces challenges, he is poised to make strides in overcoming them. The next few races hold promise for Hamilton, and fans are eager to see if he can spark a turnaround in his performances this season. Yuki Tsunoda, the promising driver of Red Bull Racing, recently found himself in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. After just 3 races into his Red Bull career, he was receiving stern advice to wake up, as his performance has raised some serious eyebrows. With his future hanging in the balance, Tsunoda is facing mounting pressure to prove himself. Tsunoda's journey to Red Bull has been anything but smooth. Last year, he missed out on a coveted seat after being passed over for Liam Lawson. However, this season, after the second race at the Chinese Grand Prix, Tsunoda was given the chance to make a name for himself, swapping places with Lawson, a moment he had long dreamed of. But does Tsunoda really need a wake-up call? Observers have noted that Lawson struggled during his time with the team, prompting Red Bull's team principal Christian Horner to reaffirm their commitment to develop young talent. Horner emphasized that having Tsunoda on board would be beneficial, stating, "Yuki's experience will prove highly beneficial in helping to develop the current car." This support indicates that Tsunoda has the backing of the team, but he must capitalize on this opportunity. In his initial outings with Red Bull, Tsunoda made strides, marking several important milestones. He clinched his first Q2 appearance in Japan and reached Q3 in Bahrain. Having finished in 9th place at the Bahrain International Circuit, he even scored his first points, which suggested potential growth. Initially, his performance garnered modest praise from Red Bull's motorsport advisor, Helmut Marko, with comments ranging from a solid race to a very solid performance following the points finish. However, as the season progressed, Tsunoda's consistency came into question. At the recent race, he fell significantly behind his teammate Max Verstappen. While the Dutch driver secured pole position with a blistering time of 1:27.294, Tsunoda could only manage a 1:28.204, a concerning gap that ultimately led to criticism. This disparity raised alarms when compared to Lawson's previous qualifying efforts, leading some to wonder if Tsunoda's position at Red Bull could be jeopardized. Former Red Bull Junior Jamie Alguersuari voiced his concerns, bluntly stating that Tsunoda needs to wake up to secure his place in the team long-term. Alguersuari remarked, "He was way behind. Let's see if we think it's okay that a teammate finishes 9/10 behind another." This kind of scrutiny from past professionals underscores the pressure Tsunoda faces to elevate his performance. As he navigates through the challenges of being a Red Bull driver, Tsunoda's next steps are crucial. He must harness his experience and the support of his team to deliver results on the track. Will he rise to the occasion, or will he find himself racing toward an uncertain future? Only time will tell if Yuki Tsunoda can transform this wake-up call into a winning strategy in the high-stakes world of Formula One racing. Yuki Tsunoda finds himself at a crucial juncture in his career with Red Bull Racing. It's clear that the stakes are high, especially with the consistent performances of his teammate. Whether you're a fan of Max Verstappen or Fernando Alonso, it's becoming increasingly evident that Tsunoda needs to step up his game. Driving a championship-caliber car means expectations are sky-high. When your teammate finishes on the podium while you're 9/10 behind, it's a wake-up call. In Q3, parameters changed dramatically, Competitors put on fresh tires, and every driver must bring their A game. Despite the hurdles, Red Bull's advisor Helmut Marko has reaffirmed Tsunoda's position in the team for the remainder of the season, expressing confidence in his potential. Marko recognizes Tsunoda's speed but acknowledges the ups and downs he has faced. He believes the recent management changes have offered Tsunoda the fresh perspective he needs to succeed. As he gears up for upcoming tests, the real question is, can Tsunoda unlock the secrets behind Red Bull's past triumphs? His ambitions are clear, and this next step could be pivotal for his future in Formula One. In a turbulent moment during the Saudi Arabian GP, both Tsunoda and teammate Pierre Gasly faced a first-lap crash, leading to shared reflections. These experiences may ultimately shape their approach moving forward. With a private test lined up post-race, Tsunoda has the opportunity to prove himself and claim his spot in a competitive environment. Will this be the moment he transforms potential into podium finishes? Only time will reveal the path that lies ahead for Yuki Tsunoda in F1.